Let's read the book together. Victricia, the book-loving buccaneer, Malicia. Written by Carrie Clickard and illustrated by Meyers. Victricia Malicia Calamity Barrett was born on the deck of the pot-bellied Parrot. Her mom was the captain, her dad the ship's cook. Her grandmother was proud of her peg-leg and hook. But despite a tradition since 1603 for every last Barrett to set out to sea, plundering and looting and pirate pursuing, Victricia detested it vehemently. Victricia Malicia was sick of the sea. You can't blame her family. They raised her up right. They gave her a name filled with menace and fright. Her cradle was ship-shape. Her blankie was black. She learned her first words from a parrot named Jack. She took her first steps off the rickety plank and learned to tie knots with her old Uncle Hank. She counted doubloons on nights with full moons and spent many months with the old pirate creed, patiently teaching herself how to read. But though she'd grown up among seagulls and gills, Vic never perfected her pirating skills. She fell from the rigging, tied knots that would slip. Her cooking caused rats to abandon the ship. When choosing tattoos, the designs she adored were never a skull or a blood-dripping sword. The stickers she'd pick made her shipmates feel sick, and her books about life without mainsails and rudders gave all of her prior relations the shudders. I gag when my lunch is spaghetti tentacler, hate when my sister speaks pirate vernacular, want a new pet that's not scaly or spiny, and I wish I could keep my books somewhere less briny. She made her whole family gasp in alarm when for her next birthday Vic asked for a farm. Her shirt, sewn by hand, shouted, "I love dry land!" Her landlubber thinking was quite problematic. V.M.C. Barrett was most unpiratic. One morning the pirates returned from their robbing and found Vic on the deck with a mop and pail swabbing with soap she created from squid spit and lotion, which slid half the crew from the deck to the ocean, along with 3 cannons, 6 trunks with brass hitches, and 17 pairs of the captain's silk breeches. Her horrible blunder had sunk all their plunder. This latest mistake left the pirates no doubt. Their patience with Vic had completely run out. Vic worried and paced as the ship rocked and leaned, while deep in the hold, pirate council convened. In sad but unanimous voices they voted, "Victricia Malicia must now be debolted. Let's ground her a while for a week, maybe 2, on a boring old island with nothing to do. 'Twill heighten her gratitude, fix her piratetude, cure her strange longings for books and dry land. I shall beg to come back to our buccaneer band." So leaving her parrot, her patch and her pegs, which hadn't been used since she had 2 legs, Vic lowered a rowboat to head for the shore when a sea monster burst through the waves with a roar. 'Tis Scylla the serpent, the scourge of the sea. That black-hearted beast wants a pirate for tea. With a flick of her tail, Scylla sliced the mainsail, then rose from the foam like a dark, scaly tower, and burst toward the ship with gargantuan power. She lunged for the mast, but her slithery neck slapped on the soap Vic had sloshed on the deck. Straight into the ropes Vic had tied much too loose, which knotted around Scylla's neck like a noose. The sea serpent let out a blood-curdling howl and got her head wrapped in a skull and bones towel. Vic hoisted her trunk, gave the beast's head a thunk, then sent Scylla back where the deep water churned. The sea serpent slid off, and she never returned. "Huzzah!" cried the pirates from smallest to tall. "Victricia Malicia has rescued us all. We can't send our savior away in a boat, when she is the hero who has kept us afloat. Instead of marooning her, let's throw a party, play bottle the ship, pin the sword on Mr. Hardy." With much lighter hearts they unfurled their great charts and plotted a course for the tropical village where great-grandma Barrett first buried their pillage. One moment of glory was all that Vic needed. She turned to her buccaneer family and pleaded, "I'll never fit into the pirating mold. I hate being ruthless, despise being bold. I just want a home where the ground doesn't billow, no fish in my bathtub or slugs on my pillow. I truly adore being left here on the shore. Come back in a month with the whole Barrett clan to see my magnificent land-loving plan." That tropical town was a place of her dreams. No portholes, no hammocks, no sword fights or screams. Vic opened a bookstore for young lads and lasses with sea story hours and ABC classes. And when they're in port, every Barrett relation makes landlubber books their preferred destination. They're learning to read at a rollicking speed, and though they're still pirates, they're not quite barbarians. Now they're the world's first seafaring librarians. The end.